왜? 왜? You want treat? Is that why? Do you want treat? 1, 2, 3. Wih.